please don't forget to like and subscribe. You know, most people say lightning doesn't strike twice. Well, most people haven't seen Giannis coming from the weak side, and that's part of the problem. The Bucks avenged last year's NBA Cup semifinal loss to Indiana with a win over Atlanta in this year's semifinals. I never thought adding Doc Rivers would get you over the hump, but here we are. Houston and OKC played in the other NBA Cup semifinal. Oh my god, it's disgusting. Sorry, I'm just imitating what I assumed the NBA reacted to when they saw this matchup. Jared McCain was ruled out indefinitely with a torn meniscus. Hey, at least he's really learning what it means to be a Sixer. The Celtics took down the Pistons, which means, you guessed it, Peyton Pritchard dominated with 27 points and 10 assists. I haven't seen someone wreak this much havoc on Detroit since Monty Williams. There will always be certain players who just make sense on a certain team. They just, quintessentially represent everything that franchise is about. Think Tim Duncan on the Spurs, or Magic Johnson on the Lakers, or, as we continue to see more and more, Jordan Poole on the Wizards. The Celtics held a 24-8 edge in free throws in their win over the Wizards, which made Jason Tatum pee his pants just a little bit. Anthony Davis had 40 points and 16 rebounds in a win over the Grizzlies. I don't know what it was. Something just came over me that really helped me dominate and lead us to a win, he said while throwing darts at this picture. Toronto fell to 1-12 on the road after a loss to the Heat. I haven't seen anyone this desperate to go home since LeBron got whooped in the 2014 finals. The Warriors and Mavs combined to hit an NBA record 48 threes in their matchup on Sunday. The fact that this record-setting accomplishment came with both Splash Brothers playing is about as on-brand as that Jordan Poole ankle breaker. Domantas Sabonis delivered 32 points and 20 rebounds in a win over the Pelicans. It was an incredible performance, overshadowed only by LeBron posting on Instagram. Kevin Durant returned to Phoenix's lineup in a win over Utah after missing the last 3 games with an injury. He scored 30 points, but talked about a lot of discomfort just all over his body, which was probably due to all the bubble wrap Phoenix wrapped around him. Denver's win over Sacramento moved them to 5-1 with Russell Westbrook starting. And if moving Russell Westbrook into the starting lineup in 2024 is what saves Denver's season, it'll be the most peculiar lineup decision since the Nets decided to go with DeAndre Jordan over Jared Allen in the name of friendship. After a loss to the Clippers, the Jazz have now surrendered 130-plus points in 4 of their last 5 games. I thought people from Utah were supposed to be stingy about giving up the goods. LaMelo Ball did not play in Charlotte's loss to Chicago, missing out on the chance to play against his brother Lonzo. Security had to get involved when LiAngelo was found in the Hornets locker room screaming, "What does it matter? The last name on the jersey is going to be the same either way." The Wolves have won 14 of their last 16 home games against the Lakers, proving that nobody, not even an NBA franchise, enjoys coming home for the holidays. Certain NBA players have a type of aura that allows them to do truly incredible things. Think Kobe playing through pain, Curry hitting incredibly half-court shots, or Naz Reid being a plus 26 in a win over San Antonio despite shooting just 1 of 10. In a win over the Clippers, the Nuggets held an opponent under 100 points for the first time since April 9th. I haven't seen a defense that bad since Magic Johnson tried to explain why the Lakers didn't draft Jason Tatum. Being eliminated from the NBA Cup by Atlanta wasn't fun for the Knicks, but adding a game against an injury-plagued Magic squad is a pretty good consolation prize if you ask me. Like adding Julius Randle after you miss out on Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I'd make a joke about how Toronto versus Chicago was a play-in tournament preview, but Toronto's gonna have to get a lot healthier for that to happen, and that's about as likely as RJ Barrett using his right hand. Do you ever see something that makes you uncomfortable? Like just fully uncomfortable? Could be vomit, could be a dead animal. For me, it's seeing Kevin Durant shoot under 40% from the field like he did against Portland. That was just as uncomfortable as I've ever been since watching this interview. The Spurs overcame a 17-point fourth quarter deficit to hand Portland their 5th straight loss. You know, instead of dragging this out throughout the entire season, my suggestion is that we should have one game to decide who gets the number 1 overall pick. Portland versus Washington. The only problem, though, is that I can't decide who should get the number 1 overall pick. Would it be the winner of that game, because that's how competition works, or the loser of that game, because that's how tanking and the draft works? After surrendering 140 points in a loss to Memphis, the Wizards only gave up 115 points in a loss to the Cavs, which is the kind of minimal progress that only really matters in a place as sad as Washington. There were a lot of strange sights to see at the NBA Cup championship game. The court was painted gold, the Vegas crowd didn't really show up so well, and Damian Lillard was wearing championship gear.